WWE may have subtly leaked Roman Reigns' SummerSlam 2025 match. Analyzing the hint. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Jennifer. Have a nice day. For the WWE family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. The anticipation for Roman Reigns' WWE return has peaked as SummerSlam 2025 is right around the corner. Recent reports suggest the OTC could return soon and start the build for a match at the biggest party of the summer. The undisputed tribal chief would likely go after Seth Rollins and his heel faction for sending him packing at WWE Raw after WrestleMania 4. However, Triple H may have subtly leaked Roman Reigns' potential matchup at SummerSlam 2025. The OTC could go all in a war against Seth Rollins and his heel group in a six-man tag team bout, teaming up with LA Knight and CM Punk, who have been competing and struggling against the heel stable lately. Knight and Punk could work together and need one more member to go up against three powerhouses, and Reigns might be the perfect candidate. Roman will likely keep himself away from the singles action as it would increase the risks of sustaining an injury, which could cause a long in-ring break that he can't afford as he is set to film his upcoming Hollywood movie, Street Fighter. The angle proposed above is speculative, and nothing has been confirmed yet. In an appearance on The Last Word podcast, former WWE employee Tommy Carlucci predicted that Roman Reigns may not return alone and would bring along some backup to continue his feud against Seth Rollins and his heel crew. I don't know where it's going. I think it's going to go for a while with this whole Wiseman thing. And maybe Roman Reigns coming back is going to bring some boys with him and start with the Wiseman. I mean, it's wide open right now. With anticipation rising each passing week, it will be interesting to see whether Roman Reigns makes his much-awaited return to World Wrestling Entertainment and gets his revenge on his former Shield brother anytime soon. WWE Night of Champions is officially in the books as well, and there is no sign of Roman Reigns' return yet. The former undisputed WWE champion was last seen on Raw after WrestleMania, when Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins aligned to unleash a brutal attack on the star to write him off TV. The WWE Universe expected Reigns to return during the main event at Night of Champions. The main event featured CM Punk challenging John Cena for the undisputed title. Mr. Money in the Bank attempted to cash in his contract during the match after Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed created some chaos. However, the cash-in attempt failed after chaos broke out in the arena. While fans waited for Reigns to make his appearance, the tribal chief didn't come out. With his cash-in attempt having failed, Seth Rollins might come out furious this week on WWE Raw. On the other hand, CM Punk would also be furious after Rollins' appearance ended up being a distraction for him, which led to his loss. With the two confronting each other, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed could make their presence felt with a brutal attack on the best in the world. This is where Roman Reigns could make his return and save his former hated rival. The former undisputed WWE champion could come out to save Punk from the attack, and further could be joined by Penta to even the odds. This would eventually set up a massive six-man tag team match between Seth Rollins' stable and the newly formed trio for a stage like SummerSlam. Although this angle is speculative, time will tell what the company has in store for the stars next. While fans have been speculating that the tribal chief will make his return to the Stamford-based company for weeks now, Reigns has not made an appearance yet. However, a recent report in the Wrestling Observer newsletter has given a delightful update to the fans. As per the update, the former Bloodline star's return is imminent, and he will be back in time to build for SummerSlam 2025 as well. This also confirms that Reigns will make his way to MetLife Stadium this summer and will return to action for the first time since WrestleMania. With the ongoing storylines, it is seemingly clear that Roman Reigns will be a part of a tag team match instead of a singles match at the premium live event. The star seems likely to team up with CM Punk and another big name for a match against Rollins and his faction. Only time will tell when Roman Reigns returns to WWE TV. Roman Reigns has been absent from WWE television for a few months now. Seth Rollins defeated CM Punk and Reigns in a triple threat match in the main event of Night 1 of the Show of Shows after Paul Heyman interfered in the match. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed have since joined Seth Rollins in a faction alongside Paul Heyman. Breaker leveled Reigns with the spear on the Raw after WrestleMania, and the head of the table hasn't appeared since. In this article, we look at 4 ways Roman Reigns could make his return ahead of SummerSlam 2025. Roman Reigns has become a fixture on WWE SmackDown over the years, but he could make a massive change ahead of this year's SummerSlam in August. The tribal chief may decide to make his return ahead of the PLE to reveal that he has used the transfer window to switch from the blue brand to Raw. Reigns likely wants to get revenge on Seth Rollins and his faction on Raw, and could jump ship to the red brand to ensure that he crosses paths with the Visionary as often as possible. The brand switch would also allow for the veteran to have rivalries with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in the weeks ahead. Paul Heyman masterminded a very powerful faction on Raw following his betrayal of Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And now Seth Rollins is in a position to become a world champion after winning the Money in the Bank contract, and also has protection with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. It will be a very tall task for Reigns to attempt to battle the faction by himself on Raw. Interestingly, Lance Anoa'i had reportedly signed a contract with the promotion last year, but hasn't been featured on the main roster yet. He could show up with Reigns upon the OTC's return and help him battle Seth Rollins' group on Raw. Jacob Fatu lost the United States Championship to Solo Sikoa last night at WWE Night of Champions. JC Mateo, Tangaloa, and Tala Tonga, FKA Hikuleo, interfered in the match to help Sikoa become the new champion. Roman Reigns may feel compelled to help Jacob Fatu against Solo Sikoa's group on SmackDown. Sikoa attempted to make himself the leader of the Bloodline after Reigns lost the undisputed WWE Universal Championship to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania XL last year. However, Sikoa ultimately failed to do so, as Reigns defeated him in a tribal combat match earlier this year on Raw. Roman Reigns might decide to align with Jacob Fatu to take down Sikoa's new faction on SmackDown. This storyline would also help Fatu become even more popular as he gradually begins to elevate to the main event scene. Seth Rollins won the men's Money in the Bank ladder match at the PLE earlier this month and can cash in for a title shot at any moment. The Architect attempted to cash in during the undisputed WWE Championship match at Night of Champions, but John Cena prevented it. The tribal chief may be plotting to return during Rollins' next cash-in attempt and ruin his opportunity to become champion. Rollins could potentially respond by challenging his former Shield stablemate to a singles match at SummerSlam 2025. On the April 21st post-WrestleMania 41 edition of WWE Raw, Braun Breaker aligned with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman to lay waste to CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Since then, Reigns has been absent from WWE programming, and Rollins' faction has been running roughshod over the Raw brand. This should lead to the OTC making a return at WWE SummerSlam 2025, where he should clash with either Rollins, Breaker, or the entire faction in a big multi-man match. At the WWE Raw on Netflix premiere in January, Roman Reigns defeated Solo Sikoa to win back his Ulafala and status as the tribal chief of the Bloodline. That loss saw dissension form between Sikoa and Jacob Fatu that ultimately led to their split at WWE Money in the Bank 2025, 6 months later. Acknowledging the tribal chief of the family, Fatu could look to the OTC for guidance and potentially form a partnership with his older cousin. Reigns joining Fatu in the fight against Solo would show some growth in his character, where he could help someone in his family without gaining anything in the process and show that he cares for his cousin, while helping elevate him up the card even more.